Hello everyone and welcome back. This is part 3 of Tissues chapter 1, Biology class 7. This might have a lot of parts. You might be like, this is such a big chapter, but don't worry. I just wanted to make it all easy, so it might be a little bit long, but hope you like it. Hope you understand it. Alright, so now in this video, we're going to be exploring animal tissue. Now we learned about plant tissues in the last videos, but we are going to learn about animal tissue. Now they come of 4 types. Now again, if you don't know, just to make sure that a cell makes a tissue makes an organ, not a tissue but a group of tissue makes an organ, and the organs, all the organs when they come together, they form an organ system. Alright, they form an organ system, and that organ system forms a organism, which is a living being. Alright, so hope you got that much, and now we're gonna get started nice and easy. Now the first type of animal tissue is epithelial tissue. Now they are made of a layer of closely packed cells that form a continuous sheet. Closely packed cells are like, they come out like this. Alright, and they all have a nucleus in the middle. Alright, so that's how they might look. Then they have almost no intercellular spaces, as you can see. Covers the surface of our skin, covers the internal lining of our stomach, intestines, and blood vessels. So you can already guess they might have to do something with protection, because if they cover the outer layer of our skin, that's out too much of the injury and all the harsh conditions, and our internal organs like our stomach, intestines, and blood vessels, but because you want the lining of them to be nice and good, because they release acids and you don't want our organs to get harmed by those acids. Alright, so that's what epithelial tissue might be doing. But let's see what are the functions right here. So protection is the first one. Now you guessed it, protects the top layer of the skin and lines the internal organs, protecting them from injury. Absorption, but where does absorption come in from? Well, it comes in from the small intestine. It absorbs nutrients. Then we've got secretion. You might be like, where did that come from? But again, there are lots of organs where epithelial tissue covers. So it forms the lining of the salivary glands and pancreas, and secretes enzymes and other stuff. So salivary gland makes saliva, and pancreas makes pancreatic juice. So they both excrete some juices. Alright, hope you got that. Alright, and what is the excretion? Now excretion, they help, epithelial tissues also help in excretion, which is sweat glands, through sweat glands and kidneys, and waste removal. So they help in waste removal out of sweat glands and kidneys. Alright, so let's revise everything. We have learned that they are for the protection. They are on the top layer of our skin. They're on our stomach, intestines, blood vessels, salivary glands, pancreas, sweat glands, kidneys, and all that. Alright, you just need to remember these functions, and you will know what organs come in place, because you know those organs, what the organs do, and you'll be able to guess. Alright, let's move on to the next one, which is connective tissue. What are connective tissues? They join various organs and tissues to one another and provide support to them. So they are basically connective and supportive tissues. Alright, for animals, that is, because we learned about supporting tissues in plants, but I'm not going to go into that. Please be sure to watch those 2 first parts before watching this. Alright, so then we've got large intercellular spaces in connective tissues. So if there are large intercellular spaces, then it means that they're liquidy. Because if you have cells like this far apart, then you will have a space here, right? So they will get mushed easily. So they must be like jelly-like. Alright, let's see what they are. Spread throughout the ground substance or the matrix. So we call this area the tissue is spread in the matrix. Alright, We'll go more in detail of that when we come up with examples in later of the chapter. Alright, so there are three types of connective tissues: supportive connecting tissues, fibrous connective tissues, and fluid connective tissues. So let's see what connective tissues do. Supportive ones. Now they provide a definite shape and structural support to the body, as the name suggests. Now let's take cartilage. There are two types of this supportive connective tissues, which is cartilage and bones. Let's go into cartilage first. They're relatively soft and flexible. They're made of cells called chondrocytes, so from cartilage, chondrocytes, and I kind of like to remember it with mitochondria, because chondrocytes is an easy name to forget, but then mitochondria, you've learned it about so many times that you should remember it, so you can remember it like that. Spread on the matrix in groups of 2 to 3 cells. So again, matrix came up, a space in which the tissue is spread, and they are in the groups of 2 to 3 cells. Alright, they're found on the ends of bones and in the windpipe. Alright, easy English, nothing too hard. And they're present on the nose step. If you touch your nose step, you see that it's very squishy. That's cartilage. And external ear, it has cartilage. You might be like, how is it hard and bendy? Well, that's cartilage. That's what cartilage are like. Now let's talk about bones. Bones form the skeleton. The skeleton is basically a pattern of bones that form the shape of us. Alright? So, hard and strong because of cells called osteocytes, which make them up. So osteocytes come together and they're really hard and strong, and that's what makes up bones. Alright, the matrix is made of calcium and phosphorus, which makes them hard and strong. So your mummy might be like, hey, go eat calcium, you need stronger bones. So you understand why she says that. In some bones, like femur, they might have bone marrow that produces blood cells. Alright, so that's what supportive connective tissues are. Let's move on to fibrous connective tissues. Now they join different parts of the body such as bones and muscles. Now the first one is areolar tissue. Now as the name suggests, areolar, it might be like air. It might be as simple as air. You know, air is nice and simple. Even though it's complex on the inside, it appears to be very simple from outside. Same with areolar. Inside, it's made of complex, not really complex, but cells, which are already complex in themselves. So that's what they suggest. So they are found under the skin as a continuous layer, simple tissue, and widely spread, meaning if something's simple, it will be widely spread. For example, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the numbers, many people will know it, so many people will know. So it's widely spread. Same with this. Matrix is jelly-like, meaning the appearance or how it's like is jelly-like. Alright, so areolar tissue is jelly-like. Connects muscles to the skin, acts as a packaging around the organs by filling up space between them. So these two are the function, connecting muscles to skin and acting like a package between the organs, filling up the space. So this is like a filler, like how air is like a filler around us and helps us in breathing and all that. Areolar tissue is too. Alright, then we've got adipose tissue, which is large and spherical. It stores large fat globules. Alright, so it stores fat. And matrix is semi-fluid, meaning it's just not really fluid, not solid, middle. Alright, found underneath the skin and around internal organs, meaning adipose is around the internal organs too. And then the function is to store energy in forms of fats, act as a shock absorber to protect delicate organs and insulate the body. So you don't want shocks on your body, so that's why it acts as a shock absorber, and it stores energy in form of fat. As we learned about before right here, this is what this tells. Now we've got ligaments. Ligaments attach one bone to another. Now pay attention. If you have a bone and this bone, ligaments will put it together. They are formed of yellow fibrous tissue and they have great strength. While tendons connect the muscles to the bones. So if you have a muscle on top, the tendon will be connecting that. It's made of white fibrous tissue, so you got the difference. This is made of yellow, this is made of white, and then this is high strength too and high elasticness too. Alright, so I'll stop there for this part. We'll see the other content in the next part. Till then, take care and bye bye.